Hey guys, it's Michelle and I'm here for another episode of Coaching from the Couch. This is an informal conversation between you and me as women entrepreneurs. And today I want to talk about 3 ways that particularly women entrepreneurs make sales so much harder than they have to be. And I am really focused on selling this week. If you did not see my blog post about why I would be so crass as to focus on selling, then I really want you to read that, because selling is so important to us as women and to women entrepreneurs. And so I'd love for you to take a look at that. But today I just want to talk about the ways that we kind of make sales really hard on ourselves and the things that we do kind of habitually in an effort to build our business that really kind of ramp down sales and make it much harder than it has to be. So the first way that we make selling so much harder than it has to be is we start to bear down too harshly. That means that we're selling when we really need to sell. We're not selling regularly. We're not marketing regularly. We're not doing it daily. And so all of a sudden the end of the month comes and lo and behold, the bills are due again. And all of a sudden we clamp down on whatever leads that we have and we start following up really, really hard. And it feels like you're gutting it out. And I just remember, when I was in labor, when I was delivering, I think it was Shelby, I guess. So I was delivering Shelby and I'm in the hot tub and, it was like right around transition. And I was like, I found myself, and I didn't realize it, right? I was kind of pushing, like I was bearing down. And my midwife was like, Michelle, lighten up. And she kind of like, instead of me groaning and grinding down and bearing down, she wanted me to, like let things be lighter, let things be, a little bit less intense. And it was like a moment that I'll never forget, right? So to go from that like, and you're, like that, and you're bearing down to where you're feeling a lot lighter. That was just something that I think about actually quite often. And when you're bearing down too harshly on sales, one, you're not selling often enough. You're not selling regularly enough. You're not marketing regularly enough. And that's why you're feeling like you got to clamp down at the end of the month. When you're doing this, selling isn't fun. You lose the fun out of the selling. You lose your trust in your ability to sell. Everything means so much. And there's just like a lot of pressure. And so typically it just means too little marketing, too few leads, and you start to bear down. So the second thing that we do to make selling really much harder than it has to be in our business is we willfully become willfully ignorant about why people wouldn't buy from us or why people wouldn't buy what we're selling. And I just did a training on this with my Women Who Wow members about figuring out the stories, the belief systems that would keep people from buying. And it's really critical that we don't become ignorant. We don't willfully ignore the reasons, the beliefs, the stories, the expectations, all of the things that might prevent them from buying or make it harder for them to say yes, right? It's important that we address it, head on. I was just working with with someone yesterday, and one of the things that keeps people from buying from her, and the reason she knows this is because she'll pitch when they respond, it's like, oh, we'd like to, but we are, we're just overworked. We're at capacity. We just have so much going on. And so what we did was we started orchestrating her marketing to address that objection, right? If you're willfully ignorant about why people aren't buying, if you're willfully ignoring it, then you'll never be able to address it up front. And when we reworked her marketing and messaging and all of that to deliberately counteract this belief system in her market's mind, what happens is she's going to not hear that excuse anymore, right? She's preparing for it. She is laying the foundations about why her work actually helps them with the capacity issue, right? So the second way we make it hard is we're willfully ignorant about why people wouldn't want to buy from us. We want to know. we want to address those beliefs, the stories, the expectations, so that we can combat them and so that we can address them in our conversation. The third way that women entrepreneurs make selling so much harder than it has to be is we put so much focus on the front end. The excuse for why we do this is because we're scaling. We're leveraging. We're putting all of this stuff in the front end. And it's like, I'm thinking, what are you leveraging? Right? Like, you have to have something to leverage in order to leverage. And, but we put so much focus on the front end. And my personal thought is that we put a lot of focus on the front end, hoping that we won't have to sell. Hoping that we can build a system, we can build a funnel, that we can build a whatever that sells without selling or sells without involving us or whatever. And so when we do that, any one of these three, bearing down because we're not marketing and selling enough, so there's all this pressure at the end of the month, right? Or ignoring why people wouldn't want to buy from you, or putting so much focus on the front end, we are starting to delay the sale. We're starting to resent the sale, avoid the sale. We start to do all manner of weird things for people who depend on the sale, right? It's like, there's one way we make money here. It's by selling. And so we make it so much harder than it has to be. And you do not have to do this. And so if you're watching this and you are not a Women Who Wow member, but you are in business for yourself, then you've got to message me, m.me/Women Who Wow. We want selling to be fun and authentic and regular for you. We want you to have an easier time, and definitely Women Who Wow can help you with that. So message me, and we can talk about making you a new Women Who Wow member. And I will talk to you guys later. So let me know if you have any questions about this or anything else, and I'll address it on another episode of Coaching from the Couch. Super excited to have you here. Bye.